Hello and welcome to the Bridge Live, where we bring to you a slice of history that has just unfolded before us. D. Gukesh has just become the youngest world chess champion in history after he beat Ding Lijian of China in the 14th game of the World Chess Championship fixture at Singapore just this evening. I've got with me my colleagues Vithi and Pritish Raj. Thank you for joining me at short notice, Vithi and Pritish.
Thanks for having us, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, likewise, Rahul.
Yep. I know. Both of you are extremely excited over the outcome, which was quite unprecedented, right? We were following the progress of the game, and the game was headed to a draw, and we were all set to go to tiebreak starting tomorrow, and then came that big moment, a blunder from Li Zhen, and as a result of that, we actually saw Gukesh processing what had just happened. He made a move and then, pulled out his traditional walk, soaked it all in, and then literally broke into tears. So, as a result of that, sudden change of course and the eventual victory, Gukesh has become the 18th world champion. Remember, there have been only that many world champions before, which is what makes this all the more historic. He also becomes just the second Indian to become world champion after the legendary Vishwanathan Anand, right? So, Vithi and Pritish, Vithi, I'll begin with you. Initial reactions.
So as you mentioned, right, Rahul, there in those last few moments, there was everything. He was shocked. Okay, he took his own time to process that. He started walking that iconic walk that people presume as the winning walk. So when you say Gukesh started walking, okay, he's winning, all right. But this was a walk which eventually led him to being the youngest world champion, world chess champion. And and then he was laughing. I mean, people would say he was smiling, but it was very obvious. I mean, he was keeping his hand on his face and he was laughing, all right. And then eventually he started crying as it all basically dawned him the gravity of his achievement. The only second Indian to win the world championship trophy. No one had done it after Vishy Anand. And I mean, I'm very excited to understand what Vishy might be thinking at this point of time because he's not alone on the top anymore. There's one more Indian and youngest at that matter. And we also have to understand that it was Vishy Anand who basically played that traditional move for him at the starting of this championship. So it all basically dawned on him. And interesting thing about the today's day and the initial last moment was that there have been discourses about how there were only two possibilities today, Rahul. Okay, one was Ding winning. Second was eventually it will lead to the tiebreaker, and how that tiebreaker will pan out because there were possibilities and there were predictions made of how it turned out in the last edition as well because like Ding is basically the master of tiebreakers, right? He won his last crown in that way because I remember Magnus pointing it out in one of the report that Ding will take the tiebreaker opportunity even before Gukesh can complete that sentence. So how the whole thing has changed because of that one blunder? Because we remember from the very last moments when Ding was getting uncomfortable, and I think that eventually led him to make that blunder. And as we saw all the emotions that unfolded, not just on Gukesh's face, but across the globe of all the chess audience who've been watching that particular live this time around, and historic, definitely historic. And all the moments and all the emotions that unfolded, I think it will go down in history books of this is how becoming a world champion looks like. It's not magic, it's laughing, it's crying, it's getting shocked out of your own achievements and pieces, obviously.
And remember, he's just 18 years of age, right? So, Pritish, thanks for joining us. What were you doing, Pritish, when you were 18 years of age?
I was probably scampering around thinking what next to do in life. But but I think, let me tell you a story. An 11-year-old kid from Chennai, which is known to have a lot of 11-year-old kids playing as a prodigy. Chennai has seen probably more prodigies than, a lot of Indian cities have seen, especially chess prodigies. And 11-year-old guy talking in a chat with then I am Sagar Saad to Chess Best India says that I want to become the youngest chess champion in the world. And 7 years down the line, he has become the youngest chess champion in the world. So before anything else, before world champion, before a grandmaster, anything, Gukesh is a dreamer and he is living his dream. That's what he said in the press conference also. And I have always, like in my tweets or in my whatever, I have always called him the Iceman because he hardly showed any emotion. But today it was a range of emotion, I would say. He started with smiling, he laughed, and then he cried. And after the press conference, he said that today it's I can be forgiven for that. So that just tells you that more than anything else, this is just one of the peak moments of humanity right there. The human emotions, the display of human emotion. So I think in terms of sporting terms, obviously it can't be described, and there are definitely a lot of technical and other ways to describe it. But if you ask me, this is probably the best moment of Indian sports this year. Nothing else can beat.
That's right. Yes, and just to put things into context, right? Magnus Carlsen's is great. There have been several in the past. Kasparov, Vladimir Kramnik, Vishy Anand as well. But remember, none of them were 18 years of age when they won the world title. Just to put that into perspective, right? So that is the magnitude of the feat that India's D. Gukesh has managed to achieve. I just wanted to get your perspectives on the prize money here, just a little bit for those that are interested in prize pools, right? So the World Chess Championship had a total prize pool of $2.5 million, and after every game victory, the winner pocketed about $200,000, right? So do the math. 3-2 final victory buckets attained. So what do you think, Vithi, that Gukesh might just do with all of that money that he's won? Does it even matter to him?
Yeah, I mean, and after all, it's not just going to be this money, Rahul. We have to understand that we'll be getting rewards, we'll be getting uh, all sorts of crowns left, right, and center. I just wonder what the 18-year-old kid is going to do with all that money. Because I'm very sure he's going to get one car as an award. I mean, he already has a car. I remember reading that news. Uh, but yeah, that's interesting because he hasn't been very vocal about his own desires. It has just been chess, chess, as Pratish mentioned, the 11-year-old kid just saying out, uh, I want to become a world champion. And now at 18, he actually is a world champion. So from 11 to 18, his life has just been about chess. It will be very interesting to know. And I really hope someone just asks a question, what is he going to do with all that money? Probably can't even calculate without touching the calculator.
Yeah, I'm quite certain that he's able to compute that he's an individual who computes several moves ahead. Now, Pritesh, I was watching the press conference, and Gukesh actually mentioned that he watched Magnus win back in 2013. He didn't even get a seat at that point of time. Gukesh, it happened in Chennai, I remember, and he actually went on to say that he wanted to be the one to win that crown back for India and bring it back for India after Vichy lost it. And today, that dream of his has become a reality.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, he before anything else, he's just a dreamer, and so many dreams had. And I think this is the kind of year Gukesh is having. Oh my God, he was not too. We shouldn't forget that he was not even in the candidates reckoning. Okay, it was a very last moment qualification for FIDE candidates. He won FIDE candidates, so basically he has climbed from the very first step till the top. I mean, that's a full climb there. And the kind of year he's having, he led India to chess Olympiad title, won the FIDE candidates earlier, and I mean that's the three-peat in chess. What else you want? FIDE candidates, chess Olympiad title, and now world champion. Absolutely, I think this is, as I said, like we have to look at our year-ender content now, because we have one more thing to add in all of them, most probably, especially the positive ones.
That's right. And just a quick reminder to all our viewers, to reiterate the point that Pritish just mentioned. He won the candidates and earned his seat to contest for the World Championship in Singapore. Then, a few months later, the Chess Olympiad happened, where the men and the women, walked away as eventual winners. And then, of course, now this world title. Overall, Viti, it's been a phenomenal year for Indian chess. Remember, Arjun Erigaisi, attained the coveted 2800 rating mark as well. What, according to you, and I'll come to you subsequently, Pritish, as well, what, according to you, will this momentous victory do for Indian chess?
Uh, yeah, on that note, actually, Rahul, I remember reading a lot of conversations around even World Chess Championship as to why wi- the win of Gukesh is going to create a revolution in India. Um, I don't remember exactly who said this, but uh, I think it was I don't remember the name, anyways. But I remember reading a piece on it that him winning this is going to change the whole scenario of chess in India. It has been just very much reduced to Chennai right now, like Tamil Nadu. All of them coming from this one school, this one city, this one state, right? But when someone as good as Arjun, as good as Gukesh, right, as good as Prag, and there's so many. These are the top that we have right now, and there are 84. We total have 84 grandmasters from India right now, and they are all good, right? But then you have this little segment where these guys are ruling the roost. So India is already very much established in this chess ecosystem. Like if not these five chess grandmasters, then there are other 79 grandmasters, all right, who can take this beating forward. But this particular win, because as Pratish mentioned in one, where Gukesh mentioned that I want to bring this crown back to India. Now this becomes about India as a whole. The crown is coming back to India. Now, conversation is not just going to be reduced or limited to just one city or a state. Now, this is about the whole country. Because I clearly can see a lot of conversations around who is Gukesh, what did he say when he was 11, and how he converted that when he is 18 now today. Now, these conversations are going to create a domino effect, which eventually is going to impact other states of India as well, not just Tamil Nadu, which is already doing absolutely great in its own capacity. And now it's going to be more of mainstream, more of layman, more of normal discourses, how people are just going to talk about Gukesh. They don't have to sit and understand and recognize, okay, I know this guy because he comes from this particular school or this particular state. But now people are going to remember Gukesh as someone who comes from India. Because we remember Vishwanathan as someone in our conscious memory, like we just know Vishwanathan. Even people who do not follow chess know Vishwanathan. I think that is the impact Gukesh is going to create now. People are just going to know Gukesh. Okay, how he did it, what sport did he play, that might become a secondary information, but people are just going to know Gukesh in their consigns. 10 years, 12 years down the line, you ask people, you know this guy? Yes, I know it's Gukesh. What did it? Might get uh, might get little dust, but people are just going to remember him. The kind of impact Vishy Anand has made on chess in India, Gukesh has just made it more pronounced considering he's just 18.
Yes, and we were talking about how Gukesh is an iceman. He always remains calm, cool, and collected regardless of the situation. And we've also realized over a period of time that he's an absolute gentleman, despite being a teenager, right? In the press conference, he actually went on to say that Ligen, rather, for him, is one of the best players in history, and he said that Ding for him is a real world champion. incredible humility from a man who's just conquered the world, isn't it, Pratish?
Absolutely. And as I said that when he cried, I finally realized he's 18. So, I mean, it takes a lot. At 18, probably even now, if I become world champion in something, I'm gonna smash whatever I see around. And I absolutely, adore Gukesh, and not just Gukesh. If you look at this young generation of Indian chess, Arjun, Prag, Vaishali, whoever you name, all of them have got this calmness, this composed, they play well, and they let their skills do the talking, and they are not as fancy as content creators like other grandmasters in the world, but they are who they are. They are the grandmasters. So I think I'm absolutely loving this new generation of Indian chess, that has probably grown more after everything, went online. A lot of online classes have came up. A lot of training sessions have been happening online, and a lot of Indian chess has been a integral part of Indian mass, but Indian mass is now playing it seriously. They are now taking it seriously, and they are now watching it seriously. Watching chess is not something you'd have imagined probably 10 years back in India. But people are now watching chess. It's a serious, and I don't think it will be long before you see one of the Geos or one of the hot stars taking up broadcasting rights to broadcast the next World Championship match when Gukesh plays there. So I mean, it has become mainstream, and what this win is gonna do, it's just gonna put it more in the mass memory. It is going to imprint right there that okay, and I think it's just this young generation. They have this swagger with themselves. It's crazy, and I am absolutely loving it at the moment. This is the year of Indian chess, and I think the world should be not scared, but you should be ready to face the heat.
Yep, a sport that originated in India, several hundreds and thousands of years ago, has an Indian world champion. And in the press conference, just for the benefit of the viewers, Gukesh actually went ahead and revealed his seconds, and these are Guy Hawk, Radislav Pintala Hari Krishna, who has been guiding him for quite some time. The fourth one that he named was Vincent Kemmer, and of course, the final name that he mentioned was Jan Christoph Duda. This is for the chess connoisseurs that might be watching. So there you have it. D. Gukesh has just become the 18th world chess champion at just 18 years of age. Final thoughts, Vithi?
No, what I'll be doing is first thing I'll be going and watching all the press conferences that the guy has had because he has been very subtle, like way too mature for an 18-year-old guy because the way he acknowledges the question itself is impeccable, right? Because I remember him saying at the candidates, like, I think that one of the questions that was thrown at him was like, what about the other participants from your country? Like, how are they performing? How is it affecting? Do you guys have conversation? He said, you know what, I just an individual game. I care. I mean, I care about myself. So from there to now, like he has made this about his whole country. Um, yeah, I'll just go back again, watch his old press conference, maybe take a lesson or two on how to remain so calm. I mean, he wasn't calm, but I'm pretty sure he'll be acknowledging all of those fame that he'll receive in much calmer way. We'll probably get that Iceman Gukesh back after witnessing him breaking down in different emotions and the extremity of the game when we gave the world champion.
Perfect. Thanks for that thought, Vithi. Pritesh, final thoughts from you. Are you going to start playing chess now?
No, no, I have no intention of playing chess now. I'll stick to my job. But yeah, I mean, final thoughts. Vishi Anand, when he left today's stream, he said that 99.73% of chances there to that this will be a draw, and that didn't happen. So I mean, if there is any lesson there, that's that you just have to keep pushing. And if this is not life in sport, as Harsha Bhogre said, I don't know what it is.
Perfect. Well said. Just a couple of comments coming in from the viewers. Akhilesh Kumar says Gukesh is the king. No points for guessing that, right, Akhilesh? Thanks for that comment. Shrishti Gusain says congratulations. Yes, of course. And There's another individual who says, "What a way to end the this victory! Undoubtedly, is the icing on the cake as far as all the Indian sporting achievements for 2024 is concerned." Thanks very much for joining me on this live broadcast, Vithi and Pritish, journalists from the bridge, and for everyone that just hopped onto this live stream. India's D. Gukesh has just become the youngest chess world champion. He is, of course, the 18th world chess champion. He just beat Ding Li Zhen of China, who was the reigning world chess champion at Singapore. Do forget to join us live at 9 p.m. tonight, where we will bring you a guest to decipher the game that transpired this evening. We will, of course, have Kishan Ganguly, a multiple time national chess champion for the visually impaired. Do join us for that broadcast at 9 p.m. tonight. Vithi and Pratish, thanks again for joining us. The news continues on thebridge.in. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.